Real quick, before we dive in, special thanks to today's sponsor, Quid, the exciting app where you can collect digital trading cards, stickers, and Funko Pop toys based off iconic series including Cartoon Network hits, Adventure Time, Gumball, and you already know, Steven Universe. Ever think to yourself, man, all the gems in this series would make for a great trading card game? Quid has, and brought that idea to life. The stickers are nothing to sneeze at either. Every sticker you collect can be plopped onto text and iMessage. Has Garnet ever fit your mood better than any emoji could? If so, I feel ya, and Quid has you covered. More info on Quid and its features later in the video. Link in the description. Welcome back to Crystal Clear on the Roundtable. I'm AwestruckVox, and today I want to have a little more casual theory, analysis, discussion about a common theory that's been going around through the fandom throughout the last, I want to say, 1 or 2 months. And this theory isn't about a vague line of dialogue in the show or a minuscule background detail that could have more significance or looking to past episodes to figure out something of the future, but rather something Cartoon Network posted. Something that's not directly from the show, but an external force surrounding the show. And that, my friends, is the theory that Cartoon Network spoiled the rest of season 5, listing plot points in plain sight. And I know what you may be thinking. Cartoon Network? The network that for the longest time advertised the show as, cheeseburger backpack, happy-go-lucky adventures, townie episodes, not even focusing really on the diamonds or homeworld or gemlore. The company that's prone to accidental leaks or leaks that are out of their control. You're saying that they would intentionally spoil the viewers for the rest of the season? Vox, you've had a lot of crazy theories, you've talked about a lot of crazy theories, but this one may actually take the cake. And to that I say, yeah, I know it sounds bonkers. But when we actually look at it, this theory may have a lot more validity to it than meets the eye. So back in November, a few days prior to the app bomb dropping, which contained the episodes Dewey Wins at the Kevin Party, Cartoon Network social media released a bingo card. And while this bingo card pertained to those 6 episodes, it actually contained information that happened within the next 2 episodes, which led people to wonder, does this entire card feature things that's gonna happen throughout the rest of season 5? And for anyone who may be thinking, well, maybe it's coincidence, maybe whoever made this bingo card didn't see all season 5 yet, I'll let you in on a little insight. Logically, to be organized and stay on top of things, Cartoon Network's employees would plan out these things weeks into up to months in advance, these little social media campaigns, which of course means they see these episodes mad early. I'm talking like finished animatic stages. So I think it's likely whoever made this bingo card, or at least those who contributed, have seen all of season 5, at least in storyboard form. That being said, they are very conscious and aware when making this, when looking up the terms to fill this with, how specific or how vague they should be when filling this out. So the fact that there are things that happen after this app bomb, literally 2 episodes afterwards, really does make you think. So I'm gonna go through this bingo card, what's already happened in the app bomb, what happened in Stranded, aka Lars of the Stars and Jungle Moon, and what could happen next. So the first row, the middle square, Kevin is mean. Honestly, this should have just been a freebie. We've seen this happen in Kevin Party. That's kind of Kevin's entire shtick. Throughout Kevin Party, he's chastising Steven, he's making fun of his friends, he even goes so far as to say, oh, that guy Derek's not my friend, when he steals his jacket for Steven. Even though Kevin was helpful to Steven throughout this episode, it was a jerky kind of helpful. But yeah, cross this one off. Next row. Directly underneath Kevin is mean is someone gets a new look. This is obviously referring to Connie and Kevin Party. After the little fallout, Steven did not see Connie for weeks, and when they reunite, Connie sports a new hairdo. Her hair is now shorter, and I don't believe I commented on this haircut yet on a video. I think it looks really nice. Much welcome change to Connie's design. The very next row, there are 2 squares. Someone cries and campaigning hearts. Now, the first one is a staple of Steve Universe. It's a running joke throughout the show itself. It's been referenced in the show itself and the community. Oh, it's a show singing and crying. Someone crying happens throughout multiple episodes of this bomb. In Dewey Wins, Lars' mother Martha cries as Sadie is yelling at Mayor Dewey saying, what Mayor does not even know when their own townsfolk is in space, Then in Raising the Barn, as Lapis is prepared to leave the Earth, she embraces Steven, and Steven sheds a tear. He doesn't want Lapis to go. Lapis doesn't want to go. This is hard for everybody. And of course, in Kevin Party, Steven begins to bawl and sob in front of Kevin. Kevin wants him to pull it together. Played out for comedic relief, but still, it's crying. As for Camp Pining Hearts, this happens in Raising the Barn. As one of Paradox's arguments to stay on the planet, they're in the middle of their Camp Pining Hearts we watch. They can't just get up and leave. To which Lapis is just like, we'll bring the TV with us. The very next row, Onion acts oniony. Again, Raising the Barn. There's a brief gag of Onion having his own, onion stand of selling onions, so this kind of has a double meaning. Onion acting oniony, as in Onion acting weird like he usually does. Yeah, that is pretty weird of Onion, but also oniony, onions, hell, irony. Maybe that was the intention too. Cross this one off. The very next one, Lapis is sad. Again, this is kind of a no-brainer. Yeah, of course Lapis is sad. She's Lapis. But she obviously is not fond of the idea of her fleeing the Earth, but she's doing it out of safety, out of what she feels is best to survive. Of course, she has various sad expressions on her face, but especially when she's fleeing the planet and gets her final glance to Steven and Peridot, which we can actually pair that up with the last square of this row. Someone moves away. Lapis, of course, taking the barn and going into space. Yeah, that counts as someone moving away. Very clever, Cartoon Network, very clever. The final row, new song, and Greg makes a dad joke. The new song, of course, was The Working Dead, performed by Sadie in the episode Sadie Killer. Greg makes a dad joke, happened in Gymcation. Oh, Greg, we love ya. Alright, that's all fine and dandy, but these are kind of obvious. Of course these are gonna happen. Yeah, but then the next 2 episodes, we could even check out more of these squares, which again, maybe Cartoon Network did put in future plot points and kind of spoiled us. Sliding pieces of a puzzle right to us, we just gotta put it together. So going back to the first row, Pink Diamond reveal. This happened 2 episodes later after Kevin Party and Jungle Moon. That was the big takeaway that everybody went nuts over. We had our face reveal of Pink Diamond. This was definitely not a coincidence. They knew this would happen 2 episodes later. Skip over the second row and go straight to the third row, Bingo Bongo. This is, of course, a beloved catchphrase throughout the fandom that Lars just said a bit too much in my opinion. But of course made his comeback in 2 instances during Stranded, both during Lars of the Stars, Lars says twice the Emerald, and also on the screen of the Star Skipper when Lars is taking out Emerald's cannons. Whoever programmed that into the Star Skipper, you're really running this catchphrase into the ground. The very next row, Stevani appears. While this was teased at the end of Kevin Party until Steven and Connie were like, nah, it's kinda, thank you Kevin, but also screw you. Stevani does make an appearance in both Lars of the Stars and Jungle Moon. Again, something Cartoon Network was definitely aware of when writing this bingo card. Alright, so that's 3 more squares. But where does that leave the rest of them? Can the rest of these happen in Season 5? Well, let's look. Garnet unfuses. I can definitely see this happening again in Season 5. Ruby and Sapphire are obviously a fan favorite, but also a favorite of the Crooniverse. Ever since they were introduced, they kind of bring them up as much as they can. I definitely think we're gonna get our seasonal quota of Ruby and Sapphire before the end of Season 5, especially if Steven returns to Homeworld. If the Crystal Gems are by his side, maybe they're infiltrating Homeworld and Garnet unfuses as Ruby and Sapphire to masquerade easier, just like in the Zoo arc. We can confidently check this one off. New fusion. Now, even though the Hyses are out of the Crooniverse's control, it has been a while since we've seen a new fusion. This summer will mark 2 years since we had Smoky Quartz. And Rebecca Sugar more or less has slipped last Comic-Con that we're gonna see some Rainbow Quartz 2.0, a fusion of Steven and Pearl. And even if it's a new iteration of a previous fusion, Steven is a separate character from Rose, so I definitely still count it. And Rebecca Sugar has hyped up this season, saying endgame or not, we're shooting for the stars. Matt Burnett said this season's gonna be absolutely bonkers. Fusion is a staple of the show, and if they're gonna go all out, a new fusion is definitely reasonable. So again, confidently check this one off. Quick breather, another thanks to today's sponsor, Quid, the incredible addicting app where you can collect digital trading cards, stickers, and Funko Pop toys that you won't find anywhere else, and including some Cartoon Network classics, Courage, Ed and Nettie, Johnny Bravo, and so much more. You can level up your photos by slapping these stickers on. You rake in all these collectibles with coins, which you get thousands of free coins every few hours just by logging in. Crazy, right? These collectibles can and will sell out, but they give you a heads up on what's returning returning and when. If you miss out, get out there and start trading. Make friends, haggle. New stickers, cards, and toys are added every single day. We're also on the app as well. Username is AwestruckVox. Quid is available for iOS and Android. Links in the description. Now let's get back to Crystal Clear. Now the last square, Diamond Attack. Can I see this happening this season? Maybe. By Diamond Attack, I think we're all having the assumption of the diamonds coming back to Earth once more, what Lapis prophesized. Honestly, as I speculated before, I pictured the end of this season involving Emerald if anybody, assuming Lars comes back to the planet. As she stated before, she can track down her sun incinerator. So the only way I can see the diamonds getting involved is if Emerald actually goes to contact Yellow Diamond, which is kind of risky, letting the diamonds know that, you kind of became incompetent and some off colors stole your ship. But maybe that'll lead to Yellow Diamond going, all right, so you're telling me I send a Peridot to check up on the cluster. That Peridot turns on me. The Jasper I assigned to her, one of our more valuable Jaspers, goes missing. We send some Ruby to get Jasper. They end up hurtling through space because of Rose Quartz. We send a Topaz and an Aquamarine to get humans, and instead they bring back the Rose Quartz that shattered Pink Diamond. That Rose Quartz goes missing, and then some off-colors have a ship that just so happens to go to Earth, and my cluster still hasn't emerged yet? Yeah, we're gonna check out that planet. That's the only way I can see a Diamond Attack happening this season. But if not, I can see it happening towards season 6, although in general, the Diamond Attack just sounds like endgame for Steven Universe, like that epic climax of final battle. But just because one Diamond Attack may happen in series doesn't mean it can't happen again. Kind of like a warm-up, a little scrap of what's to come. So even though I'm presenting this as a possibility or 50-50, I'm honestly gonna say no. I feel like that might be too much. It just sort of depends on what happens with Emerald in my opinion. I do believe she'll be the gem that brings the diamonds to Earth finally. And not just to mourn at Pink's Palanquin, but to throw hands. But that's a matter of when. And if we're being strictly just season 5, I'm gonna say no. New info about Rose. This is more or less confirmed. Again, we talked about this prior, and check out that video if you haven't already, but Susan Egan said we're gonna see Rose and Pearl's origins. An origin story kind of supplies new information about the characters, and we don't know that much about Rose Quartz or Pearl. So again, we can confidently cross this one off. Jasper is back for a fight. Now, if we're talking about a fully healed Jasper from corruption, I feel like they're gonna save touching on healing corruption, or at least fully exploring it, for season 6. And I don't see Jasper being the first corrupted gem that's healed. I think that spot is reserved for Centipedal. So I'm gonna say only if she appears in her corrupted form could this happen. Which, if Homeworld comes to Earth, maybe infiltrates the temple, maybe goes to the burning room and unbubbles Jasper, being determined to retrieve her, then yes, Jasper will be back for a fight, because I imagine a gem like Jasper, uncorrupted, oh my god, she's gonna go on a rampage. Topaz comes to Earth. Assuming she's accompanied with Emerald, yeah. If Emerald does report that her sun incinerator got stolen and is on Earth to diamonds, I can see them assigning Topaz. After all, Topaz was on Earth once before. And last time she was on Earth, she brought back Rose Quartz. And she has said they're always sending her on miserable missions, getting in the way of the two Topazes she comprises of. So while this is more of a wild guess, I'm going to say yeah, we could see this by the end of season 5. Steven gets new powers. Now, I want to say it's been a bit since Steven has had new powers. I consider his resurrection ability an extension of his healing powers, and possessing Blue Diamond, while it was different from possessing Lars, is nothing new, as we have seen this with his dream powers, and again, the new Lars possessing Lars' body. So if you want to count these extensions of his powers as new powers, then yeah, I think we're definitely going to get some new powers by the end of season 5. But as in terms of new powers, honestly, we're gonna have to wait and see, because this show is so spontaneous on what Steven can do, and when we're introduced to it, it's always completely at random. Aside from his resurrection powers, it's never been a dire situation where he just busts out a new ability. Next row, Lars comes home. I'm gonna say absolutely. That's what Lars of the Stars set up, and by the end of Jungle Moon, Lars still doesn't have any interruptions. So I think he will make it back to Earth safely. And last year we did get that episode title floating around, Reunited, which is allegedly a half-hour special. And I have a pretty good idea what that's gonna be about. While I'll say that for a future Crystal Clear, long story short, I do think that'll be the episode about Lars coming back to Earth. And sorry to disappoint you guys, but it makes sense for that to be more of a tiny-oriented episode. Yeah, we'll have the off-colors on the planet too, but I think that's mainly gonna be Lars scared of the cool kids. Oh my god, I'm pink now. They're gonna be afraid of me. Wah! Sadie. But I really do have a good idea of the direction the episode will head in, so be sure to be subscribed and have notifications on for when that video eventually comes. But I'm positive that'll happen this season, even if I do believe Lars won't stay on Earth forever, and I do think his endgame is ultimately traveling the galaxy. Next row, flashback episode. This kind of goes hand in hand with the new info about Rose. Susan Egan said we're gonna get Rose and Pro's origins. We have pictures of them in the booth for at least 2 episode sessions. We're getting a flashback episode. That's just confirmed. That's blatantly in our faces. Again, check that one off. Final row, corrupted gems get healed. I just don't see that happening season 5 unless all 3 diamonds appear and like maybe they uncorrupt Jasper, which leads to Jasper's back for a fight. But again, I think that'll be corrupted Jasper. And to reiterate once more, if a corrupted gem's going to come back and get healed, Senti, from a narrative standpoint, is first in line and deserves it the most. Maybe that will happen by the season's end. Maybe Steven will figure out the cure to corruption by the end of season 5. My gut personally says, no, that's definitely getting our hopes up. But if season 5 is bonkers crazy, then, you know, anything's possible. The sky's the limit. Ronaldo was right all along. Yes, definitely. Ronaldo's always saying crazy things, not just in the show, but even in his blog. That serves as foreshadowing. Not everything he says is foreshadowing, because they're definitely put some red herrings in there. But if we're gonna get Ronaldo's right all along, if I have to guess, I'm still sticking with Schneeple. I still think Schneeple is gonna be the end boss. That's who the diamonds have been fighting. Or maybe that's who created the diamonds in the first place. Definitely makes sense, because Ronaldo's like, oh, you know, they're blending in. They're taking form, and gems can shapeshift. I wonder who that was modeled after. Just saying. And while I already went over a new song of Sadie Killer, we know there's escapism coming up. We know there's a Lapis song coming up. We know there's a plethora of Sadie Killer and the Suspect songs coming up. So we can, you know, double, triple cross this one off. Finally, Mystery Girl appears. Ooh, I'm so torn on this because, you know, while they said in the podcast Mystery Girl wasn't conceived for Pearl to have a relationship, they didn't make her, like, initially saying, oh yeah, this character's definitely gonna come back. We know the show does not do one-off characters. It's proven that, and it's been stated by the crew themselves. But since we're sticking strictly season 5, that does not guarantee she's gonna come back this season. One, because even though she did have a big, you know, following now, by the time last one City aired, they were balls Steven season 5 in terms of planning. While it's possible she could appear in the background or we could have like maybe one episode with her, that would already have to been planned. But if you see my Mystery Girl Sabina video, I definitely think she's Sabina, who Kevin mentioned in Kevin Party. That's just one of those times where like fans follow their guts and they're right. So we will see her again. I have no doubt about that. Season 5 though, don't get your hopes up. There's just so much to cover before the season's end. So, all in all, going over all of this, did Cartoon Network spoil season 5 for the fans? Was this bingo card full of plot points that we're gonna see by the end of the season? I'm gonna say, yeah, the story has weight to it. I'm on board with it. It checks out. Just using process of elimination and what we know and what's likely with the show. But what do you think? And what square do you want to see the most? I'm gonna put up a poll as usual, but drop your thoughts in the comments below, or tweet them to me at AwestruckVox or at the Roundtable at RoundtableVids. And hey, follow Roundtable Vids on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We already use the Twitter more, but hey, more followers, more likes, that's kind of an incentive to use the Instagram and Facebook more. Helps us out, helps you out, keeps you entertained, If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like, share it with your friends, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, it really helps us out. Hit that bell for notifications so you can stay in the loop with all things Steven. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day. See ya!